Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being part of this session of NTV People's Parliament. We are coming to you live from Mukono District for those who are watching from home. And I would like to thank all the honorable members who are here in person. Thank you so much for being part of this engagement. For those who are watching from home, thank you so much for following us. Today, we're in Mukono to discuss unemployment yet again in another week. We discussed land grabbing, and today we are discussing unemployment. And why unemployment, and why are we in Mukono? At the backdrop, the Uganda Bureau of Statistics report of 2024 indicated unemployment, the rate in the country at 2.94%, and this represented a 0.2% increase compared to the previous year, meaning it is on the rise. What is causing this? Still on Labor Day, UBOS presented a brochure that stated that the current working age population that we have is 24.49 million. However, we have a 12.3% of that number being unemployed. What do the numbers show? They show that if we have a current workforce of 25.49 million people, we have 3,135,270 of these unemployed. We are having a very high number of unemployed youth, but this number is talking about the entire unemployment circle. So what does this leave for Mukono as a district? Have the citizens themselves, and they're here today to discuss the state of unemployment in Mukono. Thank you so much for being part of this conversation. We're going to have a preamble by the Vice Chairperson. He's going to take onto the floor of the August House and give us an overview, and later we shall have other honorable members of Parliament come onto the floor to tell us the state of employment in Mukono District. Honorable Member, please take onto the floor of the August House.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Names of Kawali Jeremy Chimera, District Vice Chairperson Mukono, Secretary Finance, Planning and Administration. I would like to take us this single honor to still welcome you, NTV, to Mukono District, and I appreciate you for choosing my district, my home area, for this discussion, this paramount discussion of unemployment. As you may agree with me, unemployment does not affect Mukono only. Unemployment does not affect Uganda only, but the African continent is so much disturbed by unemployment. Why? At times, the setup of our mindset towards creating things that bring in money, bring in employment to our children has been taken as a second priority, especially by our leaders in politics. Madam Speaker and honorable members of this Parliament, there are so many things. You know, the region I come from, those are Catholics, we first appreciate, you ask, then criticize. There are so many ventures that the government has created to give employment opportunities to people. All sources where people can get money from. To do with the PDM, Mioga, YLP, UWEP. Those are all ventures that people can get money to do something. But these ventures, in one way or another, have been abused from the point go. Before even the money reaches where it is meant to go, to create employment, it has been abused from point go. I happen to have monitored a lot of PDM activities, and you find people soliciting some little money from the beneficiaries. You get 1 M, you get 1 million, and someone who has worked on your paperwork wants something out of it, meaning your target has already been compromised. You get it? You give someone 1 million and you're telling that person to rear cows or a cow. And how much does a cow cost? Meaning that person is meant to look for extra money to top up to get a cow. That already has taken away the meaning of giving someone who is poor money to do something constructive. So There are so many ventures that have been created by government to help out people get out of poverty, but they are unguided, or the guidelines are unclear, and they have been spoiled or mismanaged at point go. In Mukono, we are glad that we still have some virgin land for agriculture, so we do farming, we do fishing, we have so many sub-counties that are neighboring the lake, so there is that element of work that people can get out money to survive, but still, everyone here knows what is taking place at the lake, Lake Victoria. Who does the fishing, who owns it, who is accepted there, who is permitted to do it. A lot of people were surviving on the lake. Some serious caning and death is happening down there. So meaning it has lost out a lot of people from getting employment to work, and they are just there looking on. They have lost that element of hope in everything, because whatever venture was there for them to try to earn a living has been taken up by certain individual, spoiling what could benefit the biggest number of people. Farming. In my area, there is some element of sugarcane growing, and I happen to be an outgrower. There are days when we outgrowers celebrate when the prices are high for sugarcane, a ton going up to 250,000. There are days when a ton of sugarcane goes up to 90,000, 60,000, 75,000, meaning you are unable to improve or earn anything out of it. Meaning the environment, an African environment, Ugandan environment, Mukono environment naturally favors people to do something for their growth, but the working, the conditions that could have favored that environment are so demanding and so alarming. Now it comes to employment. We have factories, say here in Imbarara. Hey, people will say, yeah, they're earning something, but has any of you ever visited and seen the working environment in which those young children work? They wake up very in the morning, that is at 5 in the morning, they're on the streets moving.
They're usually in very long queues.
Exactly.
Morning and evening. How much do they earn a day?
5,000.
A day?
7,000. If you earn 10,000, zero lunch. They are casual laborers.
Okay.
They stand the whole day. When you have that element of week, what you disappear. At least I happen to be a resident of that area. I understand the high rate of turnover they have because of poor working conditions. But the labor offices, they don't care. They don't care. If they do, they care in negatives. You get that element? So, it takes me back to the other point, that there is something that is there, but it has been failed. Its monitoring is at a low level that doesn't favor also those who are committed to earn that little money. They are working in conditions which are very, very unfavorable.
As a youth, what do you think should be done? What do you think these other youth should be able to maybe get on board with, so they can also be employed despite the conditions?
The best solution is to change the education system that we are running in. To a system which is much practical. Now, the new syllabus, there is that element
the new
of practice, but it's just an element. There is no that much ground practical part of it like it could have been. So we raise people who are job seekers, not creators. Thank you so much, and still I welcome you to Mukono District.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. Thank you for that very insightful conversation. I'm going to call on to the next Honorable Member of Parliament. Please come and take the floor of the August House.
My name is Mwesgwa Robert Sentongo from Nakisunga Sub-County, and I'm also the secretary. She's stamping and I like it. Yeah, and I'm also the Secretary of Works, Water and Natural Resources. First of all, I would like to appreciate the preceding speaker for indeed giving us a very broad view of the current unemployment in the country and in Mukono District in particular, because today we are in Mukono, and also appreciate you for coming. Thank you for considering us, Mukono. We appreciate that. First and foremost, I would like to address one of the issues that has been raised earlier on. That is the issue of the education system. We have a very big challenge with our education system. Of course, government is trying to make some efforts of recent of changing the curriculum, which is now more skill-based. But our government sometimes behaves as if it is a government of versus night dancers, because you can imagine they have changed this curriculum without equipping the schools where it has to be implemented. And I believe this is going to affect our youth for another 10 to 5 years, because they're already implementing something right now, yet the schools, the teachers, and everyone involved in the education system is not well equipped with the knowledge and other laboratories and other needed material to implement the curriculum.
Equipment and infrastructure, right?
Definitely. Now, another point I would like to address, I've looked at the statistics as you read them earlier. The National Bureau of Statistics recently released a research which exhibited that 80% of Uganda's population is engaged in agriculture. And now when you look at how much government is investing into agriculture, does not really correlate with the statistics. And I believe if government only followed its own statistics, because this is a national body, the Uganda Bureau of Statistics, did follow its own statistics and invested as much money into agriculture, which employs the biggest part of our population, this country would have been better, and Mukono would have been one of the best communities you can ever live in regards to unemployment. My other point, my other point is to appreciate our youths. They have tried from carrying hose in the wee hours of the morning to fetching fish in the night. However, government is not indeed prioritizing their effort and giving it and giving it what it deserves. For example, if you look at the PDM, the vice chairperson talked about earlier here, it is 100 million per parish. And how much is budget for the youth? Is 30%. Yet these same youths form the biggest part of the population. If we are almost 65 or 70 or whatever percentage they give us, we are the biggest portion of this population size. It is therefore important that government come to us and probably inquired more. We would have advised the government to look at to look at those facts on the ground and the budget accordingly in terms of allocating resources. Thirdly, taxation. However much our young people are trying to come up with these enterprises, starting up businesses here and there, but most of our businesses are overtaxed. You can imagine starting up a salon, and on that given day you're opening up, you have to pay a number of taxes. It is therefore important that government at least gives a waiver to the young people, at least from 20 to 30. If someone starts up a business, there are some taxes that are waived off from them so that they can easily operate. And this informs also some other factor which affects us, that most of our business do not survive 5 years of existence. Another point is the minimum wage. The vice chairperson talked earlier on about the companies. The companies we have around here, they are trying to employ our young people. However, the wage they are giving is also discouraging them to go back into unemployment. Of course, we appreciate the industrialization around Mukono. Mukono is very well industrialized, but again, the wage they are giving to these people is discouraging, yet ending these people going back into unemployment and to other criminal activities.
Does that mean you'd be in support of a minimum wage?
Definitely would.
Uganda as a country?
Yes, and our parliament, the other parliament, if it is endorsed by this parliament, that the national parliament really considers the minimum wage for most especially casual workers in factories and other places. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member, for those insightful views. Just to give us a recap, the last two Honorable Members have expressed that there is willingness to work. However, so many qualified people, so many educated youth can't get into this job market because of the wage. They calculate the transportation to their jobs, their places of work, and they choose to continue to look on. Thank you so much for watching NTV People's Parliament. For those who are home, we are in Mukono District, and for now, we take a very short break. When we return, we're going to give you some lived experiences. We're going to have a number of youth here to come and tell us what was the experience like while they're looking for jobs. What did they have to go through to get currently employed? We'll take a very short break, but we return after this. Welcome back from that break. You're still watching NTV People's Parliament with me, Betty Mudondo, and we're coming to you live from Mukono District. And this particular session, we are discussing the rate of unemployment in Mukono, where so many are educated, so many are willing to work, but the wage bill and some of the factors that have been highlighted affecting them from accessing the job market. At this particular moment, I'm going to call on to some youth to tell us what they do, for starters, and probably the challenges they faced in order to have their businesses pushed, or what they do currently to have it out there. So feel free, honorable members, to come and tell us what you do, and also what are the challenges and how did you maneuver to be able to be smart like that, please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Anthony Dalton Yiga is my beautiful name. I'm a journalist by profession. Madam Speaker, we talked about unemployment in youth. Madam Speaker, I personally, I will first of all blame this government of ours. One, I will speak my profession. Journalists, we graduate every year from different universities and institutions. But the media houses, to give us jobs, the media houses which can employ us, the youth, after coming out from the universities, you just count them from the fingerprints. We have a problem of being the licensing of media houses here. Most of the media houses of my religion, the born again, the pastors, they are the one who are owning a big number of media houses here in Uganda. You find a person, he may work as an they call it what? Somebody being, you are working but you are not paid.
Okay.
And I'm wondering why this government of ours, it keeps on always being licensing these church media houses which can't employ people. To be realistic, in our country, Uganda, you just count media houses on fingerprints which can afford to pay with the media personnel. One, it is the reason why you see fake news these days. It is all over the whole country. You find a mainstream media house, it looks for news from the social media.
Or bloggers.
Yes. Reason being that everyone who graduates, he wants to come out and he starts up his own media house. The reason why the youth are unemployed, it is one, the government licensed a lot of media houses in this country. They have license, but they can't afford to employ them. Getting a job on NTV, I will speak because we are here. It is a tag of what is equal to that one of meeting Mwami Museveni. Yes. You go into a lot of protocol. Madam Speaker, the government under UCC, they must regulate to those people whom they are giving license to see that these people, this big number of people who are graduating from Monday to Friday every year, that they be employed. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. Please give him a round of applause, first of all. And he spoke for the journalists. Thank you so much, Honorable Member. At this very point, I would like to get on to another Honorable Member of Parliament to also come and give us, what do you think is keeping the youth unemployed, even when there is willingness to work, even when the youth are trying to set up small businesses? Why is a big number of them unemployed? Honorable Member.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and honorable members at large. I would like to say why the youths are unemployed. The jobs are for technical know-who. You go in a certain office, Oli mwana wani, give me the reference. And some of us, we don't have anyone who knows us. We don't have a backbone. So at the end of the day, you find me, Martha, I'm having all my village mates in the office and leaving others behind. Thirdly, you discriminate like in a certain tribe. This tribe is not working here.
Tribalism.
Tribalism. We only want this tribe to work here, which is wrong, because we are all Ugandans, we need to survive. So if you say, I'm going to only need Baganda here, where will the Bateso go? Where will the Acholis go? So at least we pray that people who are in higher offices, who can give a helping hand to others, you remove that element of discrimination and you give our youths work. We have another issue of unemployed mothers. We are talking about even the unemployed mothers who are young ones. They give back to their kids. Some of them anyway, maybe they were working, then they come back home, they are seated. Nowadays, men want women who bring something on the table. So at the end of the day, you're nothing, you're there. You start your kadala, these people of CCA, they come, they throw your things away, then you're done. And lastly, people in offices. You're 60, 70 years, but you're still in that same office. We have young blood who have new ideas, who have fresh blood, who can run the country. Why can't we give the opportunity to those people to run the country? Because in the end of it all, that seat you're seated in, it's not meant for you only. At least you give other people opportunity. Thank you, Right Honourable people. I remain by the names of Martha Kakai Nalongo, a councillor from Champisi Sub-County.
Thank you so much, Honourable Member. One Honourable Member is very, very happy for you, even stood up to stamp for you. I don't know whether he wants someone out of office and he takes the seat. The journalist is happy. We have another youth. You guys, please, a round of applause for the youth as he gets onto the microphone. He knows himself. Please, Honourable Member, take onto the floor.
Thank you so much, Honourable Speaker. By the names Buyondo Patrick Bakulumpaji, aka Pade. Why the youths are unemployed in Uganda. One, they lack skills. Some of them lack skills. You know, our education system is founded on a faulty foundation. We have been running this colonial education system, I don't know for how many years. This needs to be changed. We need to embrace a skills-based education system, whereby we skill our young people. May I run a studio by the names of Elite Digital Studio down here along Bishop Tuck Road. One of my sons, I employed him after his HSC. During his work, I called him there. We sat together, I taught him what I was doing. And now, he's now he's having work. He's not like, he's a graduate of information systems in Chambogo.
I picked two things from that statement.
Yes.
One, you also employed your son. Someone
Yes.
said the whole village is in office. That is one. Two,
Madam Speaker.
No, I picked 2 points. That was the other lighter moment. But two, that
No,
plus corruption.
I trained him, and now he's no longer an employee of my.
But plus corruption.
In my studio.
But no, that was a lighter moment.
Yes,
But
yes.
on the other hand, I've picked that even parents should take the initiative to
Yes.
train skills if we have them to pass them
Yes.
on to the next generation
Yes.
to also curb unemployment.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
So, honorable members, you wind up. What do you
Yes.
think is leading to the high rate of unemployment in Mukono among the youth, and what do you think they should be doing in order to avert it?
Now, if you have land, this is a piece of advice. Don't think that what you said is going to employ you. Me, I'm a social worker by profession, but I mean totally different things. So go do some cocoa farming, coffee farming. It is good. Actually, I want to applaud the Mengo government, the Buganda government, for starting up this Mwanyi Terimba project.
A round of applause.
Yes, please. You see, an acre of coffee, just 1 acre like this, if it can accommodate 450 plants. If this plant can give you about 4 kilograms of kase, the one which is processed, FHU, you calculate that today, right now, a kilo of coffee.
Order, you will come and interject.
A kilo of kase.
Let him first teach you how to make money.
Today, it fell from 16,000. It's now at 12,000. But it's still good money. You calculate 450 times 2, and then times what? Yes, times 12,000. Information, please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Yes.
With due respect to the youth, I wish we are much realistic in this discussion and practical. I told you when I was submitting, I'm an outgrower, registered outgrower with Meta. I do sugar canes. But if you're Ugandan and you've been in Uganda for some good time, like you are, you know the price fluctuation which are intended within agriculture. So you shouldn't make people put all their eggs in one basket, that whoever runs out of campus, go plant coffee, and that is the end of, you're going to become rich. No. The point should be how to survive without looking at a specific cash crop. And he has said it himself, the cost of coffee last year isn't the same cost of coffee this year. Why? When it's like our government intends on on making people poor. Whenever they focus on something and it's earning them some money, their price start falling.
Why do you sound like you also grew moringa?
I do. Yeah, no. I may not have planted it myself,
But I'm moringa wave.
Yeah, I'm a village boy. I grew up in Nagoja. I know. I've seen my dad do vanilla, do coffee. We sell a tiny at 250 in a nice year. The most of the years.
Not even year. It is just that particular
Exactly.
season.
So now I cannot stand here and tell all youth go and look for land and plant sugar canes are earning. I'll be doing some more harm than good.
The journalist is very
Thank
serious
you.
without even a cash crop.
Thank you,
Which cash crop do
Mr.
you?
Speaker. Thank you so much.
Madam Speaker.
That's honorable member gross journalism.
Yes.
I'm only giving you 30 seconds.
1 minute, madam.
Okay.
My brother, Honorable Vice Chairman, has given a point of information, but I'm actually not misleading. What I'm talking about is right. I'm not saying that you grow coffee only. You can grow other things. Even sugarcane can work. But you see, what I'm saying, coffee is a perennial crop. Love it or leave it. Coffee is perennial. It can go up to maybe 20, 30 years. Cocoa can go up to 80 years. The plantation is there. Right now, a kilo of cocoa, because it might buy, a kilo of cocoa is at 25,000, 25,500 at ESCO. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you so much, honorable member. For those of you who are whispering when you don't have coffee or cocoa, come and tell us what you're selling or what you're buying. Oh, at this point, I want to talk on to the Honorable member, right there. I'm doing gender balance. The men are twitching their faces. You just had another youthful man standing on the microphone. Let us have a youthful lady as well. Honorable member, please take on to the floor of the August House.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and Honorable members at large. By the names of Najongo Fatinasko, I reside in Kabembe, and I'm born in Nagarama. That's where I live. I think what's bringing about unemployment, these youths are not willing to be flexible. For example, I'll give my example on my own. I did business administration, and I'm a business lady. So before COVID came in, I was doing business, importing in new clothing and bags, ladies' bags, and the baby's shoes. So when COVID hit in, I shifted to getting rice from Paris, Kaliro, Kamuli. No one trained me that, but it was all about being flexible. What's next? If something is coming to this point, what next should I do? What next should I put on the table? It's not sitting back and relaxing. Another point, what I'm seeing is lack of funds. These technical schools, they've done their part. They teach the youths what's supposed to be taught to them. But when after teaching these kids, they don't give out what's necessary to them, like the material. They lack funds. Of course, when you're done with the school, you don't have any capital to put up any business.
Please wind up the conversation.
And the teachers, for the teachers' part, what I have seen in Mukono, the problem is teachers, their standard of teaching is low. It's whereby you find a teacher is marking a wrong spelling. Yet in town, they are so strict on spellings and where a punctuation mark is supposed to be put. Of course, the competition is stiff. This kid in Mukono could not compete with a kid in town.
Thank you so much, Honorable Member. Yes, I have so many hands up, but at this particular point, I'm going to be taking a very short break. But also, to clarify, over the years, we have seen that the high crime rate has been linked to unemployment. So this creates a lot of insecurity in so many districts, including Mukono itself. So this makes us continue with this conversation after the break. Those watching from home, thank you so much and stay tuned. Welcome back from that break. You're still watching NTV People's Parliament with me, your speaker, Betty Mudondo, and we're in Mukono District. We are discussing unemployment and what can be done to avert it in Mukono District. At this point, I would like to have another Honorable Member of Parliament from the floor of the August House. Please come and tell us, what do you think can be done to avert unemployment in this district?
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. I'm so much privileged to be part of this debate and the People's Parliament at large. I actually didn't want to give my views about this topic because already when you think about whatever that is happening as per now, you feel that whatever you're going to say may actually end up not making sense. Why? Before the People's Parliament, we have a national parliament. And I would sadly say that this parliament has really let us down in regard to the issue of unemployment. So many checks and balances, the national parliament. So many checks and balances are supposed to be done at that level. But actually, you'll find that these members are giving a deaf ear. They're not giving it any time or attention to show the government that something actually has to be done for this problem to be solved. A case in point, we have so many government programs that are running as per now. The GROW arrangement is there.
Youth Livelihood Fund.
Youth Livelihood Fund, the PWD, rather PDM, sorry. UWEP, so many programs are on ground. But you find that much as there are so many loopholes that have been shown to the country that they are there, the officials who are handling the programs, they are not so straight. There's a lot of corruption. Nepotism is there. You go to parishes and look at the list of people who are benefiting from the 100 million for a ward, for each ward or parish, and you find that there is a line of relatives or a family that is, benefiting from this program from a certain parish or ward in the different districts of the country. But we are not even having any private members' bill coming on the floor to show that we should make this thing, straight. The regulations and guidelines that are supposed to be formed in this case at the ministry level, that the concerned ministry comes up with these rules and regulations, that once an officer is caught running away from following these regulations, then there are such and such harsh punishments that are supposed to be given to those faulting officials. That is not there. So you find that we have been actually let down. We are going to the time of general elections. We have so many competing members here who want to go to parliament. My message to them is that in case they have that chance, at least for the next time when they get the floor, let them handle that and bring it to the attention of the concerned parties.
Your caution to be better leaders.
Then,
and finally,
there is a problem of much time for enjoyment. That is at the youthful age, which is actually supposed to be productive. But there is a lot of freedom. Actually, when you look at communities right now, before there were churches that were mushrooming. Right now it is these, they call them bivalazas, the bars and nightclubs.
Just a minute.
And nightclubs. So because of that, you find that the time that is supposed to be used productively, that is the daytime. These youths are using it to rest and prepare for the following night to go and enjoy.
Okay.
So how do I conclude? I want to conclude by quoting, there are two books that were written by the Kampala economist Chigundu. In his book, Success and Failure, Based on Reason and Reality, and then the other one, the world's Reason as the world's masterpiece. He talked about mindset change as one of the things that should be, brought to attention, and actually in concern with the syllabus and what is taught in schools from all levels, starting with primary, secondary, and of course making it maybe a course unit at university. That mindset change should be something that should be taught, that someone gets to an age where he's becoming an adult or she, and knows that I'm going into a world that is not so easy for me to live in. So let me change my ways. Let me handle my life in such a way, such that at the end of the day, they will call me a successful person. I beg to submit.
Thank you so much, Honorable. You have a point of information. However, I'm going to give you a whole segment of yours to speak. I'm going to have a lady, then after that it will be you. So you'll be able to sum up that. Please, Honorable Member, take onto the floor. And I'm going to give you also 2 minutes.
Protocol observed. I'm by the names Miss Gramia Comfort. I'm an entrepreneur. I also represent the NGO forum at the district. I'm really honored to be part of this debate. The youth, one of the most things that is challenging us is twagala kufuna mangu. You get it, and we undermine opportunities so much. Irrespective of what has come across you, we always look at ourselves to be on top of what is being given to us and weigh what we are going to get from the inputs. Quick gains is a camp. You may take it the way you want. I will not be part of that conversation. Yeah. It's a challenge that the youth has. I want to give an example of myself and take you back to the times of COVID-19. I work with a very powerful organization, but when COVID came, we all went back home. What came into my mind was to discover the other different ability, the skill I have in me of being an entrepreneur. as a person, I sell nuts. What do you know besides your education background? If we could understand that, we'll turn this issue of unemployment upside down. But besides that, we also call for support from the government. The youth are really very innovative. We are very creative, and we are doing so many things that are innovative, but we need support. Finally, the other thing is we should learn to pass the opportunities to our fellows. Take an example of me. I'm an entrepreneur, and right now I own my personal organization called Thrive Together Initiative. I'm passing out the skills that I have, and I'm showing the opportunities to the youth that besides anything else you're doing, even this can make you thrive, can improve your life. You can become better with your personal skills. We have very many people who are doing different things. You find someone knows how to make doormats, but they don't know how they can earn money from the doormats they are making. You find someone knows how to maybe farm, but they don't know how to add value into those agricultural products. But this calls upon us all. If you have a skill in you, please pass it out to any other person that you feel needs it. I believe we can turn around this challenge that it is calling for the government. It all begins with us. I beg to close. Thank you so much.
A round of applause to the honorable member. Thank you so much. They keep saying push that business into people's faces. Do you have any paste for us or any?
Yes,
you do?
You can give me just 2 minutes, I bring for you.
Yeah, and you sell. You're selling or you're giving?
I can even give you a sample, you test what I'm
Exactly, you see, that's honorable member works with a business. You see, other youth who are here, you need to come with your businesses. Please honorable member, take on to the floor of the August House.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The beautiful ladies and the handsome men in the house. My name is Rugoro Richard Kasidiv. We need to be real. Madam Speaker, people here have been speaking the good English, the good points that can help the youth, but realistically, when you go to ground there, they can't work out. Point number one, thank God you're dealing with one of the youngest LOCs in Mukono municipality. For information, Madam Speaker, this municipality has 79 villages. I'm blessed to be the LOC1 chairperson of Chiwanga, Rwanda. That is Renzori, Coca-Cola, where there is ready paper. My area of jurisdiction is having 25 companies. Here comes a company that's started in 2005. The time they came into my area, they were paying casual laborers 7,000. Up to date, they are still paying them 7,000. But remember, the time this company started in my area of operation, rent was at 50,000. At the moment, to get a single room in Chiwanga, it is at 150. How do you expect this youth to gain more morale of going back to that certain company X to continue carrying the box, to load on the box of water to a truck? So my humble request to the National Parliament, like my colleague said, Ruwama, to come up with the minimum wage bill. We still lack that bill in our country, Uganda. Because here, it will enable the youth, the poor youth, at least to do their work, knowing that at least this casual work I'm doing, at the end of the month, I'm going to be paid the 200,000. The last point is of overdependency. I saw my fellow youth talking about growing coffee. You people, one of the enemy for this country are the heads of this country. These people, they always want us to be beggars, because a beggar is manageable. Someone who is having some money in the pocket who can afford the lunch, it's not easy to control him in this country, Uganda. So the heads of government,
For them, they feel good when they see us ever always begging, PDM. Of which the PDM, personally, I'm a leader, I'm not against PDM. But the way they designed the PDM, we need to review the setup. Papa talked about dependency. Let me tell you, I have a friend who is in Masaka, based in Masaka. It's my OB from Paulo Mukasa SS Chugunga. This is a guy who's like, look, I can't do any work. I will just wait for the season of locusts. That is May,
November,
and in November. 2 years back, locusts took long to come out. They started in December.
The grasshopper.
Yes, I had to even raise him. I tell my brother, how's the business? So the guy was like, Lugorobi, my brother, Umeme is killing me with their beer. And there's nothing I'm yielding, so I don't know what I'm going to do for this season. So the over-dependence on one product has also caused unemployment in this country, Uganda.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honourable Member. And as we wrap up this conversation, you're going to be my last speaker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and the previous speakers who are here. Thank you, particularly the Registrar, for making it local and making it real, because I believe some were a bit abstract. Speaking from Mukono District, one of the issues that we have is the Service Commission, which is supposed to employ predominantly Mukono people. That's the Service Commission. To be honest, Mukono people who are here, how many of you can survive going through that process of getting a job here at the Service Commission level? How many of you? There are cases of people the youth have to pay money. You have to pay money to be on the short list. You have to pay money. Inform me.
Let her first finish it. Wind it up so that we can know where you pay money, so that you can actually know how to interject. Just a micro minute.
That people pay money to get those jobs of Service Commission.
The floor is yours.
Through the Service Commission.
Not yours, the floor is hers, but please come and give us information.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Service Commission, that I happen to be the secretary in charge of that service, because I'm the Secretary, Administration, Finance and Planning, which falls under statutory bodies. It's under my docket. We have tried and we have really done that, eliminated bribing to get employment. The good thing, my chairperson was very clear when forming that Service Commission. Regulations are clear also. They are not targeting Mukono people only. But with him, that is Reverend Peter Bakarwa Mukasa, he has a directive. Mukono people should be considered first when giving out jobs. And I wish there are people here who can give evidence. Me, I can, because at least I go through those employment opportunities. With Mukono, at least for this term of office, we have completely changed the Service Commission way of awarding jobs. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
If you have
it has been of recent, but it is on record that it has not been in operation, and that is why there have been no jobs for some of the youth in Mukono District. Yes, just to conclude, because everything has been talked about, as the sitting woman member of Parliament, Mukono District, I would like to call upon government to bring the skilling down here in Mukono, because our people don't have skills. You're skilling people in Kampala, you have 9 skilling centers, beautifully done. You even have ceremonies, graduation ceremonies. But we, the people of Mukono that you call metropolitan, we don't have skilling centers. We only have, I think, 2. One is in Kayunga, where they encompassed us with over 10 districts, and they want 5 youth from every constituency. It's not practical, given it's not practical given the statistics that show the youth are much more. Then there's another one in Namamve, very, very unpractical, very beautifully done. Equipment is there, but people have no access to it. Why is it there? This is a question to that center. or the government to answer, why don't they allow our people of Mukono to go and use those centers to get skills? My final request is we need incubation centers. Like the wonderful lady who was saying youth don't like working. They don't have where to work from. She's lucky she has where to work from, but some youth don't have where to. Tebaina ntandikwa, tebaina we batandikira. Even the equipment tebalina. But if they can put for us an incubation center, they will have empowered youth, and youth will go and start working. Lastly, finally, this issue of capital. Ensonga yesente to empower youth to get the PDM. Now, as a woman MP, let me speak about grow, that issue of grow. What are we growing in women? When you're asking a woman, omuchala omufumbo ngalimu myaka, nga you're asking for a land title. You are asking a woman in Champisi, a woman in Intunda. Just because they have a business, of course they're entitled, because those are the requirements. You must have a running business. They have businesses all over, but you're asking for the impossible. That is not practical. You are leaving out people, you're leaving out a lot of youth out of those opportunities that you're creating. And that is why most of these initiatives that the government is doing, they are deliberately keeping people in a vicious cycle of poverty. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, honorable members, for being part of this conversation. I would like to thank you for all your submissions, and I thank you so much for creating time to be here today in person. For those who are watching from home, we also appreciate you. Thank you so much for being part of this engagement today. This is NTV People's Parliament, and we have been in Mukono District discussing a number of issues from land grabbing to unemployment, and it could be your district next. So stay tuned and follow the conversation on our social media platforms. That is NTV Uganda on X, NTV Uganda on Facebook, and all the other platforms. I remain Betty Mudondo, the Speaker of the August House. By the powers vested in me, I adjourn this house until next time.